Most people are born into debt they never signed for. They spend 40 years trading their lifeblood for a currency that loses value every time they breathe. They die with a funeral their kids can't afford and a name that's forgotten in 2 generations. This isn't an accident. It's a design. Today we're tearing down the blueprint of the broke and building the architecture of a dynasty. You're either the fuel for the machine, or you're the one who owns it. There's no middle ground. Why do most people die broke? It's not a lack of effort. It's a lack of vision. Most people are playing a game called survival. They've been programmed to seek comfort, but in a world of inflation and high-stakes volatility, comfort is a death trap. Think about it. You're told to go to school, get a safe job, and put what's left into a savings account that pays you $0. That's not a financial plan. That's a surrender. The safe path is actually the riskiest move you can make. But the world always changes. It's changing right now while you're watching this. You aren't broke because you don't work hard. You're broke because you're working for the wrong things. You're trading time for paper, the only asset they can print more of. Sorry you've been lied to. The hidden tax on mediocrity. Let's get real. The system needs you to be just wealthy enough to keep working, but too broke to quit. That's the middle class trap. You get the nice car, the 30-year mortgage, and the illusion of success, but look under the hood. Most of these successful people are one paycheck away from a total collapse. They don't own their lives. The bank owns their house. The dealership owns their car. The corporation owns their time. If they stop, the music stops. This is the agitation of the soul. That feeling in your gut at 3 in the morning, the realization that if you died tomorrow, your family wouldn't just be grieving, they'd be drowning. That's not a legacy, that's a liability. History doesn't care about your effort. It only remembers your results. Most people die broke because they never built anything that could outlive them. They were consumers in a world meant for creators. They were players in a game where they didn't know the rules. You see, the poverty blueprint is passed down like a curse. It's in the way people talk about money. They say money is the root of all evil. They say you should be happy with what you have. That's the language of the defeated. If you want to buy a dynasty, you have to kill that voice. You have to realize that wealth isn't about greed, it's about power. It's about the power to protect your family, the power to influence your community, and the power to control your own time. If you don't have that power, you're a servant, plain and simple. You're a servant to the debt, a servant to the landlord, and a servant to the clock. Most people die broke because they were too afraid to be the master of their own fate. They chose the certainty of a paycheck over the possibility of an empire. But there is no certainty in a paycheck. There is only the illusion of it. The psychology of defeat. The difference between a broke mindset and a dynasty mindset is how they view risk. To the 95%, risk is something to be avoided. To the 1%, risk is the toll you pay to enter the kingdom. You've been taught to fear the what if. What if I lose money? What if I fail? But you should be terrified of the what is. What is my life going to look like if I don't change? Average is a death sentence. It's a slow fade into irrelevance. If you want to build a dynasty, you have to kill the part of you that craves safety. You have to embrace the get rich or die trying mentality. Not because you're greedy, but because being poor is a burden to everyone who loves you. Think about the generations that came before you. They survived wars, famines, and migration so that you could be here. Do you really think they did all that just so you could watch Netflix and complain about your boss? No. You are the spearhead of your bloodline. You are the one who is supposed to make it all worth it. The architecture of power. So how do we flip the script? How do we go from zero to dynasty? It starts with the architecture of power. There are 3 pillars you must build. You must build them with aggressive discipline. Pillar 1 is offensive income. Stop trying to save your way to wealth. You can't save $1 million on a $50,000 salary. It's mathematically impossible. Your first job is to increase your kill rate. You need a skill that the market finds undeniable. You need to become a high-value predator in your niche. Whether it's tech, sales, or specialized trade, master it aggressively. Pillar 2 is asset fortification. Once the cash is flowing, you don't buy things. You buy freedom. You buy assets that pay you while you sleep. Most people get a raise and immediately buy a bigger house or a faster car. They're just upgrading their cage. A dynasty builder takes that surplus and pours it into the fortress: real estate, intellectual property, equity in businesses. You build a system of cash-flowing machines that protect your family from the volatility of the world. You want to reach a point where your lifestyle is funded by your assets, not your labor. That is the only true definition of wealth. Everything else is just high-level poverty. Pillar 3 is bloodline thinking. This is where most people fail. They think about themselves. A dynasty thinks about 100 years from now. You need to build a system where your wealth is protected by a trust, a philosophy, and a family culture. You aren't just leaving money, you're leaving a blueprint. You're teaching the next generation how to hold the line. Think about the great families of history. They didn't just get lucky. They understood that wealth is a baton that must be passed, not a trophy to be stared at. If you don't teach your children how to manage power, they will become the reason the dynasty falls. This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. Executing the vision. This is a get-rich-or-die-trying lifestyle. It requires a level of discipline that would break an average person. It means saying no to the party, no to the new phone, and no to the opinions of people who are already broke. The price of a dynasty is your current life. You have to trade your comfort for your legacy. You have to be willing to be the crazy one in the family until the checks start clearing. And even then, you don't stop, because a dynasty isn't a destination, it's a standard. Look around you. Everything you see, the cities, the brands, the technology, was built by someone who decided that average wasn't enough. They decided to leave a mark. They decided that their name would mean something. Why shouldn't that be you? The world is overflowing with capital. Trillions of dollars are moving across the globe every single second. Most of it is going to people who are simply bold enough to ask for it and disciplined enough to keep it. You have to understand the psychology of the climb. When you start, people will laugh at you. When you're in the middle, they will hate you. When you finish, they will tell everyone they knew you back then. Don't seek validation from people you're trying to outrun. Their approval is a lead weight. You have to be okay with being misunderstood. You have to be okay with the silence of the grind. Think about stakes. This isn't just about your bank account. It's about the trajectory of your entire family tree. You have the opportunity to be the person who changes the story forever. You can be the great-grandfather or great-grandmother that everyone talks about in hushed tones, the one who broke the cycle, the one who built the foundation. Or you can be another anonymous face in a photo album that eventually gets thrown away. The struggle is the point. The grit is fuel. When you're working until your eyes burn, when you're taking risks that make your heart pound, when you're facing failure after failure, remember that this is the forge. You're being tempered. You are becoming the kind of person who is capable of holding a dynasty together. A man who gets $1 million by luck will lose it in a year. A man who becomes a millionaire through the fire will build $1 billion legacy because he knows the secret. He knows that the wealth isn't in the bank, it's in the man. Most people will watch this and go right back to their safe path. They'll scroll to the next video. distracted by the noise, and continue their slow walk toward a broke retirement. They'll find a reason why this doesn't apply to them. They'll blame the economy. They'll blame their background. They'll blame their luck. But those are just stories we tell ourselves to make the failure taste better. You're still here. You've got the hunger. You feel the ignition. That's the spark of the dynasty. Don't let it go. Don't let the world drown it in mediocrity. Every decision you make from this moment on should be filtered through one question. Does this build dynasty, or does it burn the fuel? If it doesn't build, kill it. If it doesn't move you toward the architecture of power, discard it. You have to be ruthless with your time and even more ruthless with your focus. The world is designed to distract you because a distracted man is a consumer. A focused man is a threat to the status quo. Be a threat. Be the one who refused to die broke. Be the one who decided that good enough was an insult to their potential. The time for talk is over. The blueprint is in your hands. The grit is in your soul. Now you have to decide, are you going to be a footnote in history, or are you going to be the one who writes the book? The destiny of your bloodline is waiting. Don't keep it waiting much longer. Subscribe to this frequency if you're ready to stop being fuel and start being the architect. We don't do average here. We build empires and burn the ships. Leave a comment below with one word, Dynasty, if you've decided to break the cycle today. Let the world know you're coming. Get rich or die trying.